By the way, I am filling in for Danielle Masters. Her baby decided to come this morning, so we're waiting any time for Mr. Grant to be born. So I am going to have to read it because I know nothing about it, so I apologize. Her grant is actually called Tangible Learning and Play, and the problem of practice is students are lacking the necessary academic and social skills at each grade level to be successful. When looking at the school's demographic data, 12% of the students had an individual education plan or IEP that addresses academic and social deficits. Of her identified students with disabilities, the most of them were autism. Our students who have autism and social deficits that negatively impact their learning behavior and academic performance. Students also have difficulty getting motivated to learn and engage in activities with their peers. Just because a child has a disability does not mean he or she cannot be successful socially and academically. So she decided that how did she know that this was a problem? She said that the number of individualized behavior plans and reward systems were currently had in place. Data from the students' behavior monitoring forms show that students require multiple prompts to complete work and stay on task. Forms also show that inappropriate behavior students exhibit when they refuse to work, such as screaming, hitting, spitting, throwing, running around the classroom, and etc. With general paper pencil activities, students lose interest quickly and get frustrated as the task gets more difficult. What strategy will she implement? She's going to implement tangible learning and play in the resource room to determine the impact of student engagement, social skills, and academic performance. What resources and personnel will she use? She's using Tigly and Osmo. She says they have learning systems and games that offer hands-on learning and play. The students will also have an opportunity to improve comprehension, vocabulary, listening, reading, math, motor, social, and critical thinking skills. An iPad in the classroom to run apps and learning systems, and the teacher will work with the students and track their individual progress through independent play and work. Her research question is, will tangible learning and play improve student engagement, social skills, and academic performance? What outcomes will prove that her innovation was successful? She says that she will know that innovation was successful when 90% of the students have shown growth in the task completion, time on task, and progress toward the IEPs. The goal of the innovation of the tangible learning and play through the school year in the resource center as both learning activities and rewards. She also says that she will also know that the innovation has been successful when students choose to play a game that encourages critical thinking skills as rewards for completing non-preferred tasks, as opposed to treasure box, playing with sand, and other student choices. She will measure the goals or the outcomes. She will measure the progress of the grant through IEP monitoring, time on task, task completions, and the number of times students choose the learning system, which is Tigly and Osmo. How can she be sure that any of the positive outcomes of the measures are actually due to her innovation? Is the positive outcomes will be contributed to the innovation by comparing data from the students' behavior monitoring forms prior to the implementation and after implementation. And she says so far she has received the Osmo learning system with the grant. She's using her own iPad, and the Tigly system has not came yet. So she's actually using her own personal iPad so that she can implement the Osmo system in the classroom. She says that her kids have been highly motivated to play the different learning activities and games. They are finishing their non-preferred task assignments more quickly, more accurately, and with more effort so that they can actually play one of the games, and the kids feel like they're getting rewarded to engage in the critical thinking skills. She said that so far the apps students have been able to practice social skills such as taking turns, good sportsmanship. She's also found that she can add students' personal spelling lists, vocabulary words on the Osmo Words app. that there's games that they can practice, and she said that her kids thought of it as a game instead of actually learning and practicing spelling words, and that she looks forward to using the other systems as well. Thank you.